Good afternoon. It's day 3 of the Special Libraries Conference here in lovely Cleveland, Ohio. I'm sitting with Tara
Murray,
who is the current Vice President-elect. So that means at the end of Hal's term, she will be moving in to become SLA President. So Tara, tell us a little bit about what you do professionally, and then we'll talk a little bit about the conference. We'll talk a little bit about SLA visioning in the future and such.
Sure. So I'm the librarian for Germanic and Slavic languages at Penn State, so just about a 4-hour drive from here in Cleveland. I've been there a year and a half, so I'm starting to get the hang of it. So I cover anything to do with Germanic and Slavic languages and literatures, basically area studies. I'm a liaison to the department. I do collection development. I do instruction, and I also do service to organizations like SLA. And I do research.
Great. And also, in your previous life, you have also worked at
the American Philatelic Research Library,
right.
Which is also in central Pennsylvania.
And that's I mentioned that only because it's a personal interest of mine. I am sort of a somewhat interested stamp collector, philatelist, as they would say.
Yes.
So, Tara, tell us a little bit about your work on the board, some of the things that you've been involved in as a board member, and then talk a little bit about the not repurposing, but revisioning, reinvention of, and transformation of SLA. Because again, as I've said in other videos, it's just not about the name change. So talk a little bit about that, please.
Sure. So my term on the board started in January, and we kicked things off at the Leadership Symposium in New Orleans in January. We had board meetings there and strategy sessions. Then we've been meeting virtually since then and met again in person here in Cleveland. This is my second term on the board. I served as division cabinet chair. That was a 3-year term previously. So some of the things we've been working on this year are rebranding and possible renaming of SLA. So that's something that's come up in the past. We're talking about it again. Does the name and the persona that we're projecting for the association, does that resonate with our current members and with our potential members and new markets that we may want to reach into? So we've started with surveying our members and doing some brainstorming as a board, trying to get as much feedback from members and potential members as possible before we put anything into motion. We're also working on some restructuring options for our units. So what we're hearing from our chapters and divisions is that the current structure is not really flexible enough for what people want to do. We want to make volunteer opportunities less stressful, less onerous, more rewarding, both professionally and personally, and hopefully a little more fun as well. So we just started rolling out some kind of brainstorming and discussion about what that might look like here at the conference. So again, gathering feedback before we put anything into motion.
And it's interesting, and I think the time is ripe for maybe a reinvigoration, a refocusing of the organization, because again, we're in the midst of, and we'll probably be in it for a very long time, of an information transformation sharing. So now we really need to think about repurposing ourselves. And as I've said in previous videos, it's not the paid staff that has to do this. It's not the volunteer board and officers that have to do this, but really all of us who have a vested interest in seeing the association move forward into bright, fertile uplands. We have to take ownership of this ourselves and find out how do we work and take how we work, how we access information, take some of those principles and really bring it forward to transformation so that this organization will be around for another 110 years.
Yes, so we are celebrating our 110th anniversary this year, and actually in this hall we're getting ready to do a champagne toast and a cake cutting to celebrate that milestone. But absolutely we do need help from our members. We're going to be calling on our members who are experts in their fields to contribute to some of these efforts, to new online learning opportunities, getting into some micro-learning type things, which is what we're seeing demand for these days, as well as some professional resources, so standards and frameworks and research reports and those kinds of things, as well as the programming that we do here at conference.
Great, well thanks. Well, one thing I just want to say, and I've said this in other videos, that we as the current professionals, we are the trustees of our profession. We need to make sure that we pass on our profession to future generations of information professionals a healthy profession, and we are also trustees of the association. We need to pass on to future information professionals a healthy, a vibrant, a relevant organization, so that again we'll have opportunities for professional development, networking, and give them the opportunity to help keep the association and the profession moving forward.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Tara.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.